looks just like you. Plus, 2 against 1 is more intimidating when we force someone to sign a loan.
And I'll be sucking up to you in order to keep up the illusion.
So, here are your low monthly payments and interest rate as we promised. Here's where they triple. The rest of this stuff, don't think a lawyer can read this. It protects us. Make sure we get your home when you can't pay us back.
Such a lovely house.
Yeah. But don't worry. We're going to sell you credit life insurance. You don't really need it, but
Puts lots of cash in our pockets.
you look nervous. We better hurry and get you to sign. Or I'll pretend to ruin your credit with one phone call.
Predatory lenders are never this easy to spot. Call us and protect yourself with the facts.
Every day, online predators make their way into homes uninvited and unnoticed. Help delete online predators. To learn what you can do to protect your kids' online life, visit cybertipline.com.
And we're back again. We thank you for staying tuned, and we're talking to Reverend Darrell Smith. He's talking about the Pope and the impact that the Pope has played as he has come to America and says some things, because he is an American. He's from South America. You didn't know that, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
He's from South America. you thought not United States,
no.
not North America, South America. He's from South America.
Yeah.
But if you heard any of his speeches, Did you hear any of his speeches?
I heard some of them. In fact, it's been said, and from a preacher to a preacher, we know that the best sermon is the sermon that you live. That was taught, that the best sermon is the sermon that you live. And I remember seeing this report how the Pope turned down the Congress. He was invited to lunch by the Congress and everything, and he turned him down because he wanted to go eat with the homeless. He went to go down to the section in Washington and feed the homeless. He said, I have lunch with some people. And so he not only was with the homeless, but he fed the homeless and everything. So he turned down that big spectacular meal from the Congress.
Probably steak and potatoes.
I know. And in fact, his meal, it
was a modest meal.
No, broiled vegetables and some other stuff,
Yeah, modest meal.
Modest meal. And so just the idea that, they call him the People's Pope, because he is geared to touching hands and being with the people and everything.
Well, I watched all last week, and I seen his interaction. One young girl, her daddy's threatened to be deported.
Right, I saw that.
She met him in Rome, at the Vatican, and then she had an opportunity to meet him again and give him.
Is that the 5-year-old girl?
I think she's a little bit older than
Okay, because they had a 5-year-old girl that he called
because
up.
this girl is very, very articulate.
Okay.
Oh, man, this girl is awesome. It's like, man, she must go to American schools.
Yeah.
She's very articulate.
Okay.
And she had a very good point of saying that she believes her father should be here because he's not only rendering service to this country, but he wants an opportunity to take care of his family, to do the right. So a little kid give that kind of commentary. It's awesome to hear the minds of young kids. It's no limits of where this young girl, if she continues, she definitely would probably make a very good politician.
Yeah, really, and probably deal with the immigration because that's an issue that's going to be on the political.
If you heard any of the speeches that the Pope made, the Pope definitely said that most of the people in Congress, they can go back to their historical ancestors and see that they were immigrants. They were farmers.
He went there?
He went there.
Oh my goodness.
He went there and said, "Remember, you're not that so far removed that some of your ancestors came here and were being picked on and ostracized." Man, he even went to more than once talking about the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
Dr. King quoting him over and over and over again. Awesome. I listened to it and said, I mean, he was not afraid to touch human rights. He was not afraid to touch the climate changes and stuff like that. So he addressed a whole lot of issues that maybe people think they're not that serious. But the climate change, and for us, coastal erosion is something that we're concerned with in our area. It impacts that. If he did his study and research, I mean, he didn't pull a rabbit out of his hat. He was talking facts, and he was talking about what was pertinent to not only to us here in America, but also the global effect. Remember, I told you about the global effect that the Pope had. His message is consistent. Spread the gospel. Yep. It's consistent. It's consistent.
And like I said in the beginning when we was talking, it's just the fact that the best sermon is the sermon that you live. In fact, I heard someone say that as far as about a eulogy. You live your eulogy and everything. And so, just the idea that
can be a good thing or bad thing. Huh?
yeah. It's like, that's true too.
Because because in the past there was somebody who says they wanted their child to be funeralized to the church, and the pastor of that church says, "Why? When he was alive, he never came to church." I think that would be a disservice to him because it's a place that he don't want to be. Now you're forcing him or forcing his body to come to the church. So is it for that person that's deceased, or is it for the person that's for the living?
That's true too. That's true too. Don't get me wrong when I say this. I was remembers a quote from Moms Mabley. Moms Mabley said, "He's good and dead." He said, "He's dead and that's good." But Moms Mabley was a comedian. But
you do know Yogi Berra.
Yogi Berra
so when
died,
you said that,
and them quotes that he had
some awesome quotes.
Oh yeah,
he was.
It ain't over.
It ain't over till it's over.
Till it's over. Yeah.
And he came back, and they came back and won though.
Yeah, that's true.
They came back and won. So I guess he met what he said. Yeah. Don't be despaired because you think that we down and we out. Watch this.
It ain't over till it's over.
I watched one of his commercials that he made with Affleck, and the duck said, "Oh yeah, they give you cash, and that's as good as money."
I remember that quote. Yeah.